Kryon. Energy from the past. Greetings, my dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. One of the things humanity constantly has to deal with is what I would call the energy of the past. We keep talking about the brand new energy of 2026, the events that are happening, the time capsules that are opening, all the esoteric things. Things that, for many, might even be considered eye rollers. But what about the past? The past influences you, and it continues to influence you. And what would you do if it happens? Now, for those who don't really know what that means, or who want a better definition of past or influence, in effect, the things that have infused energy into you in any way, in your consciousness, in your brain, in your DNA, tend to influence you if they haven't been positive things. And so, when we really get back to what we have inside, there are two types of layers, we could say. But even the synapses in our brain that remember things from this life, eventually they get deposited in that storage, I would say, in our DNA. DNA is a huge storage area, as science has also found. It contains libraries and libraries of books, we could say. And so most of the things that trouble us might actually tap into what gives us joy and might attract things that cause habits and, of course, fears. They come from many sources, but they are actually there. Most of those fears, I would say, come from a past that goes back to a life you've lived on this planet. In the early days of working with Kryon, in the early years, I gave a message, a channeling on past lives and present fears. It's a common thing to humanity. And even that past, you might say, even in your life, in this life, and the things that can influence you, they don't influence you nearly as much as the ones that have come with you from your past lives. Even today, there are people specialized in helping to dissolve the energy coming from past life experiences. So you are familiar with the subject, and that's precisely the question. How can I handle the things from the past that influence me? How can I deal with them, even in this life, and what can I do about it? A year or two ago, I would have given a completely different answer. We are living through a time that you perhaps did not foresee, or that you didn't plan for, or that perhaps you only hoped for. And so it requires a complete rethink of your way of thinking. It's interesting to say, well, when the sun finally comes back and the energy clears up and I can breathe a sigh of relief, I didn't expect to have to work so hard to get it. And what I mean by that, dear ones, is that this energy, this dimensional shift that is happening on the planet right now, is changing your entire way of perceiving, acting, and thinking. If you found yourself in a new paradigm of reality, or if you moved, for instance, from one country to another, or maybe even from one planet to another, wouldn't you feel the need for a learning period? What's going on? How does this work compared to before? What should I learn or unlearn that would help me? And this is precisely the phase you are in, right now as we are transmitting this message to you, in the month of March. This is the first part of 2026, a pivotal year. A year when many things will change on a personal level, and that change will then influence your surroundings or your perception of them. So, the first thing we want to tell you is that this particular energy I'm speaking with now is very different. It is working in your favor towards an even greater energy, because the energy from this shift, which we could define as 5 years, intensifies until it reaches a final energy that you will then be accustomed to. That said, if you are light workers listening right now, things are changing dramatically, and one of those things concerns precisely this question. Things from the past still influence me. What should I do? This is a fundamental question, and I will answer it now. Those things from the past, whether you're used to them or not, but which are still there nagging at you, which you are aware of and are trying to process, remain to some extent where they were in your DNA. But I will tell you, in this dimensional shift, there is an effort to cleanse them, and this happens because it's what you asked for. But, even more importantly, a light worker who is working with a high energy should not be dragged back because of some old energy that has nothing to do with their current life. So, to achieve this and to facilitate this process, there is a new system that will help clear all those memories. It's not about clearing past life memories, but rather the energy that hinders you in this life. It deactivates, we could say, the negative parts, the negative energies or the parts that bother you, but it doesn't do it just while you go to lunch. It takes a long time. It could take months or even years for it all to dissolve. But there is an accelerator, a way to help yourself in this process. So let's talk first about what happens automatically. I want you to stop for a moment, because there are so many things I would like to tell you about. Things that happen in the body of the light worker, in the body of the old soul, in the mind, and in the consciousness. If you have reached a point where you can understand what is happening, then you are on the right track. If you haven't gotten there yet, listen. This energy is an energy designed, are you ready? To match higher consciousness. This is the first time this energy has appeared on the planet. It matches higher consciousness. So it's not just one energy. It is your energy. Therefore, if you have had a great awakening to a higher truth, that energy matches you. It is also the time when we told you that many things would start to happen with the planet's time capsules, the nodes and null points. They would begin to open because the time has come. That's why they're called time capsules. There is a time when they will open. This is the time. Now, some of them actually open during the shift, that precession of the equinoxes, but most of them will be more efficient from now on. And we've already told you a bit about them. It has to be because Gaia is your partner, and she will begin to draw up many of the things into that crystalline grid that are still there and that represent war and all the things that are part of the old energy. This is part of the system. But within you there is something miraculous called the 24th pair that responds to the information, reflects the information that the 24th pair of chromosomes you have, the multidimensional ones, the invisible ones that were given to you from the stars themselves, are beginning to open up. They are beginning to open up. You could say they are activating themselves. Now, why would they do that? You say we have free will. Why would they do that? Because they respond to your consciousness. They respond to your consciousness. You could say that when the year was right, and it is, when the dimensional shift is right, and it is, then it looks at your consciousness and says yes and goes ahead. That's what's happening now. One of the things these time capsules left by the stars do is interact with your DNA, with your entire genetic heritage. They are looking right at the very place where all the things are stored. And they start working on that, which is the multidimensional memories, the energies, all those things that have been stored there in an ancient energy, and they know what it's all about. Do you have karmic issues that still haunt you? They will know what it's about. This is a designation, dear ones. This is a spiritual event. You cannot achieve an ascended planet without help, both inner and outer, for everything you will need to build a compassionate world. This is simply the first year, or perhaps hundreds, that will lead you to your destination. It has to start sometime, and it starts now. Many of you have been waiting for this moment. Perhaps for you it is an absolute novelty to know that there really is an energy, a kind of rebirth of the sun, that harmonizes with your consciousness. And part of this process is the elimination of what conditions you from the past. So, to the question, there are things that still condition me. What can I do? I am giving you a complete answer. As strange and bizarre as it may sound, those of you who are ready and in a state of high consciousness will perceive it concretely. Now, the thing you can do that really accelerates all this is to understand that it's happening, accept it and know that it's happening, but the affirmations that confirm it. It is your consciousness saying out loud, "Thank you for what's happening in my body. I appreciate it. I know what's going on. Let me know if there's anything I can do." Who are you talking to? Let me know. Are you talking to the 24th pair of chromosomes? And the answer is you are talking to what is innate, and your innate is still involved in all this in a huge way. Your innate knows what's happening. Of course it does. Your innate is part of your soul's experience that we have described. Your innate gives you all that response to homeopathy, awareness, and self-healing. That's what your innate is for. Of course it's involved. It knew this moment was coming too. You could say your innate was also waiting for this moment. Why don't you affirm it? When you start working with your innate, with the things you know are happening inside your body, the esoteric ones, all sorts of things begin to change. That relationship you have, dear ones, the wonderful relationship you have is what we're talking about. It's something we must continue, but I wanted you to know what's happening in your body right now. I wanted you to know all the things that might change your life right now in this energy. I am Kryon and I love you all. And so it is. Plasma ruby filaments, dear ones, the plasma light ruby filaments have begun to descend upon Earth. This new Aries cycle is facilitating the planetary transfiguration and the reconfiguration of Earth's first and second dimensions, a process that many of you, as ruby bearers, are constantly supporting from your sacred spaces. Today, while in nature communing with the energies, I witnessed the descent of a new form of plasma in the form of liquid gold ruby filaments towards all living forms on our planet, supporting them in their process of redimensionalization. I was then communicated that these new plasma transmissions are already being seeded for all of you who are willing to align with them to support the new Earth. These ruby waves are also supporting the recoding process of the first chakra that many of you are currently undergoing, healing family, genetic, and epigenetic traumas, as well as fears related to survival and other anomalies located between the first and second chakras. The massive reconfiguration of the Earth's one-dimensional atomic structures, of living forms, and of everything trapped in this dimension due to wars and other manipulations has begun. Many of you will be guided to support the soil, the trees, the water, and the numerous souls imprisoned in the spectrum of this dimension, helping them to retrieve their soul to realign with their original dimensions, healing chambers, or the space they can now occupy on a quantum level. On a more concrete level, I was invited to share that Uzes, France, is also undergoing a profound Cathar liberation and first dimension recoding, as around the 13th century it housed a Cathar community, and it needs healing and liberation to become an enlightened place and recover its authentic coding and essence. The Ruby Ray and other benevolent forces are removing from this place all non-benevolent programs and residual painful memories, religious influences, among other things, making it once again a gateway and an ascended Earth space. Many places on Earth are undergoing a profound recalibration and transfiguration during this time, supported by the Ruby Ray, especially with the Aries frequency among us this year and soon at the end of March, along with the equinox and the many other events that will foster this planetary translocation, as many forms of consciousness are literally being brought into a new dimension to continue their existence in a more harmonious space. Each of us possesses all the planetary rays encoded within each of our DNA light letters. When we awaken to our true essence, it is crucial to recover our birth ray and all our connections to the other rays, to embody them and reconnect with these aspects of creation. We can all work with the rays, although those who have an agreement hold the unique keys to anchor the coding that will help heal, transform, restore, or transfigure what is now needed. Ask your unified self to show you your birth ray, and the one that is working most with you right now, and trust that you will receive it at the right time. It may manifest as a color you suddenly see, or through messages from your guide or your soul, or in any other way you communicate with the divine. What has been uniquely assigned to you, only you can receive. Ask, and it shall be given. Your mission is to work on opening and reconnecting all the channels of your body, balancing your ego and remaining on an enlightened frequency in order to receive. You are love, you are wisdom, and you are power. May you remember how to retrieve your true essence, dear ones. Within infinite love, Natalia, Alba, Lord Buddha. Trust is the supreme truth. Greetings, I am Lord Buddha. I am also known as the Buddha consciousness, the essence of enlightenment. I am a source. I am a collective. Yet today I present myself to you as one with the Creator, as one with the All. The oneness of the Creator and the oneness within you is one of the most important realizations in your spiritual evolution. If you dedicate yourself to acknowledging/realizing/experiencing the oneness you have with yourself, with the Creator, with all that exists, you will access your inner enlightenment. It is through alignment with oneness, dedication, and focus on oneness that you will unlock the divinity within you, because everything is in a rhythm of oneness. Today I wish to speak to you about your inner reality. Through this essence of oneness, this inner reality manifests a divinity within you. When you access oneness, when you immerse yourself in meditation or a moment of stillness, you allow yourself to listen, to observe, perhaps not to understand because there's no need to understand, and to acknowledge that there is a magic within you, a divinity, an essence, a oneness, whatever name you wish to give it, and it is divine. It is active and it creates. Everything you desire exists within you and can be experienced within you. Everything you yearn for, everything you dream of, is within you, and so much more. The reality of the Creator, the core of the Creator, your divine and sacred relationship with the Creator, it is all there, and it is all accessible within your being. This brings us to a question. If there is divinity in you and in me, and if there is divinity in every single person and being on Earth, why isn't earthly reality a divine space? Why don't we experience heaven on Earth? We know that, as human beings on Earth, we manifest from within our being. Many factors can hinder the manifestation of divinity. It can be subconscious thoughts and beliefs. It can be the judgments we place on ourselves and others. It can be our fears. It can be our emotional wounds. It can be the limitations we impose on ourselves, on others, and even on the reality we exist in. All of this can prevent our experience of inner divinity. However, there is something more that is needed, and that is connection. We don't need to understand the inner divinity, the inner reality. We don't even need to understand what it is manifesting, its qualities, its colors, its essence, its vibration. All that is needed is a connection and the awareness that this connection is being created and experienced. You always have a connection to your inner divinity, to that reality of divine essence that resides within your being. The connection is always present. It's about a conscious awareness of this connection, and it might simply be a knowing that is needed. Awareness is different from a positive affirmation. Often, with a positive affirmation, you are trying to convince yourself. With awareness, you may not fully understand it, you may not even be able to put it into words, and yet you maintain your focus on it. As more and more people connect with themselves, with their inner divinity, they will notice that this divine reality manifests in their physical reality. You might notice this in some people you meet. The reality they experience, that they create, the essence, the vibrations, and the frequencies they emanate from their being, will simply seem divine. The more you connect and maintain focus on this divine reality and inhale it into your body/being/reality, the more you will notice it manifest. You are giving it permission because you possess divine will. It is important that you accept, that you give permission for the higher or pure aspects of yourself to emerge. With this connection, you give permission to experience a divine reality from within your being, in your physical reality. When you experience something that seems not to be in alignment with the divine reality, or that is out of place compared to the divine reality within you, that is your opportunity to replant the seeds, to remember your connection with your inner divine reality/essence and channel it. Bring it out through your being and express it to what seems out of alignment. There may be misalignments in your reality, and even within your being. It's simply about replanting that intention, replanting that divinity. Perhaps it was forgotten, or it's simply out of balance. When you align with your inner divinity, everything aligns with it. The more you practice recognizing that something needs to be replanted, a reconnection with your inner divine reality, the more you will find that everything flows with greater ease/purpose/truth/magic. We don't know what truly lies within your inner reality, so it's a wonderful opportunity to be surprised. To be pleasantly surprised when it manifests in your reality with beauty/grace/love/connection/truth. I hope this is helpful to you and supports you. I am Lord Buddha, and I thank you. The spiritual teachings of Mucus. As we all charge forward like a wild Mustang into 2026, we arrive at a point of containment and clearing. What has penetrated and become trapped in our emotional body, memories, past pains, and inner fears, turns into tears. We arrive at a place of complete purification, a place where we let go of what is still stuck in the main and side roads of the body, past, present, and future. In spiritual beliefs, mucus is seen as a physical manifestation of stuck energy, repressed emotions, and a need for protection. It is linked to an accumulation of thoughts, memories, and feelings that have not been properly processed or released. When mucus is part of a cold that won't go away, it often acts as a forced timeout. It can indicate an unconscious desire to withdraw from a situation that feels overwhelming. Unprocessed grief and sadness. Mucus and phlegm are closely associated with the lungs and respiratory system, which are linked to grief and loss. A buildup indicates an inner crying or the need to finally release long-held sorrow. Mental congestion and overthinking. Metaphysically, excess mucus in the sinuses can represent too much thinking. It might indicate a conflict between logic and intuition, or the inability to make a clear decision. Repressed anger and irritation. Sinus issues are often linked to being annoyed or angry with someone close to us. Protection and boundaries. From a symbolic standpoint, mucus acts as a natural defense. Spiritually, it can indicate an unconscious desire to protect yourself from perceived attacks. Spiritual disconnection. Congestion can be perceived as a physical barrier to breath. It can symbolize the feeling of being suffocated, limited, or cut off from your inner wisdom. When mucus persists, spiritual metaphysical reasons are revealed: sinuses and nose, associated with your sense of self and how you perceive the world. Indecision can symbolize mental overthinking and the inability to make a clear choice, causing energy to remain stuck in the head. Throat, phlegm connected to communication and your voice. Unspoken truths. A persistent need to clear the throat can represent holding back angry words or the feeling of not being able to express your true self. Creative block signals a blockage in your truth or a resistance to following your gut instinct. Lungs and chest, deeply connected to the breath of life and the emotion of grief. Unprocessed sadness. The lungs are considered the seat of grief. Persistent mucus in the chest could be the body's attempt to cry out old, unprocessed grief or loss. Emotional release. Since mucus and tears are chemically similar, a runny nose is sometimes seen as a physical stand-in for emotional crying. Spiritually, losing your sense of taste and smell during a cold is often seen as a forced withdrawal from the outside world to focus on inner turmoil and healing. Literally, disconnection from inspiration. The word inspire comes from the Latin inspirer, to breathe in. A stuffy nose can symbolize a temporary disconnection from your spiritual breath or divine inspiration. Heartsuit, the sense of smell, is linked to intuition. Losing this sense can reflect a time when you feel unable to sniff out toxic situations or people in your life. Heartsuit, losing your sense of taste, can symbolize losing the flavor of life. It serves as a reminder to savor the present moment. Heartsuit, third eye blockage. Sinus congestion is sometimes associated with a blockage of the third eye chakra, which relates to clarity, wisdom, and inner vision. The message contained in the information above was given to me in a very potent biological form that chose to show me many soul lessons that I had overlooked. I thought I had cleansed my energy on so many levels: physical, mental, spiritual, etc. But alas, I had not cleared my soul from congestion. I thought I had done all my soul homework, but in vain. What I have discovered in this very humbling, biological, mucusy initiation of the last 10 days is that the universe wants me to clear all congestion, all sadness, all loss that I haven't digested, haven't cried over, haven't faced. I have found that the simplest and highest aspect to create this soul congestion clearing is to create a bridge of light. A bridge of light from your heart space to the heart space of whomever or whatever you intend to clear across time and space. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, a memory, a truth, or an untruth, it doesn't matter. It needs clearing. I have found that heart clearing through the bridge of light is much easier than mind clearing. Be thankful for the small glimmer of peace in your part of the world. You're part of your heart, and you're part of the scheme of things. I offer these truths from my heart to yours. Intergalactic Council of Andromeda. Prepare yourselves for what awaits you. Greetings in the light and love of our infinite Creator. We deeply appreciate the moments we share with all of you. Thank you for this transmission. Awakening to the truth is a profoundly challenging experience, especially when the individual is not fully prepared to hear it or accept it as an undeniable reality. The path towards enlightenment can be fraught with obstacles, and for many, this path has been marked by the painful realization that those they trusted to guide them towards deeper truths may, in fact, have led them astray. This disillusionment can be particularly upsetting, as it often involves a profound betrayal of the trust that many individuals have placed in their mentors, leaders, or spiritual guides. Some individuals who believed they were sincerely pursuing a path of enlightenment have found themselves trapped in a web of deceit and betrayal, caught in a labyrinth of misinformation that clouds their judgment and understanding. Many are now discovering that the very figures they believed would illuminate the path towards knowledge are, paradoxically, the ones shrouded in darkness, working tirelessly to keep vital information hidden. This revelation is a harsh truth that many are reluctant to face, as it forces them to reevaluate their own beliefs and the foundations of their understanding, leading to a profound inner struggle that can be both disorienting and liberating. Through the awareness and acceptance of this channel, we have been able to unmask the deeply rooted deceptions that have been woven into the fabric of your reality long before they became evident to the masses. The veils of illusion that have obscured the truth are beginning to lift, revealing layers of complexity that many were unaware of. In this context, it is essential to reiterate the gravity of the situation. Deception is deeply ingrained, infiltrating various aspects of life and thought, encompassing not only spiritual teachings but also social norms, educational systems, and even the media that influences public perception. As the truth begins to emerge and gain an undeniable hold, it is crucial that you prepare for a much deeper understanding of the dynamics shaping your current perception of reality. Everything is changing now at an unprecedented pace, moving rapidly towards a full disclosure of information long hidden. You, dear ones, are the beacons of light in this transformative journey, illuminating these emerging truths as they come to light. Your role is pivotal, as you are not merely passive observers but active participants in the awakening of your fellow beings. This task is monumental, as it requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the truth, as well as a willingness to embrace the discomfort that often accompanies such profound realizations. We have consistently revealed to you the essence of what is unfolding and what is happening in your reality, in an attempt to prepare you for the changes that lie ahead. These moments are characterized by intensity and urgency, as the world around you is undergoing a momentous shift in consciousness. Deceptions and lies are being systematically exposed, while the forces of confusion and distraction, known as the Archons, strive to obscure the truth and maintain their grip on the collective consciousness. In this critical moment, it is imperative to remain steadfast in your light, dear ones. Now is the time to rise in your light, to shine brighter than ever, as you navigate through the tumultuous waters of revelation. The strength and clarity of your inner light will not only guide you but will also serve as a beacon for those still lost in the shadows, offering them hope and direction as they too seek to find their way. Seize this opportunity to foster awareness and understanding, for the awakening of humanity depends on the collective effort to illuminate the darkness that has long prevailed. It is time to step into this new era of truth and transparency, fostering a reality founded on authenticity, enlightenment, and unity, where individuals can come together to support one another in the quest for understanding and truth. With eternal love and profound respect, we witness you, we celebrate you, and we honor you. In the love and light of our infinite Creator, we are the Intergalactic Council of Andromeda, here to serve the divine. The 90 Arcturian Council, Arcturians, Sirians, and Pleiadians are sending energies greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We are assisting all of you on Earth in every way possible, and since we are a non-physical collective consciousness, you can, of course, receive our help without even realizing it. If we were to lower our vibration and create physical bodies and a spaceship and come to deliver new technologies that you could use, then you could say with certainty, the Arcturians helped us. But we won't do that. So you must seek out the help we offer you. We often talk to you about the energies we send, but these energies can bounce off most people because they are not aware of them and do nothing to open up to them. That's why it's very helpful for all of you to think about what you wish to receive and then dedicate some time to opening up to what you wish to receive from above. And this is true because so much is always being offered to you from the higher realms. You don't even need to ask for what you wish to receive. You just need to open up to it. This is the perfect time to do so, because during this period there are so many requests going on all over the world. So many people are calling in energies from above and offering help in countless ways. And you, who understand that you receive energies constantly, can lead the way by opening up to them. How do you do it, you might ask? Sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes. Pay attention to your breath. Relax your arms and legs. Set the intention to receive what is coming to you from above. And also set the intention to receive something specific that you desire in your life. Feel free to try and to struggle, and let yourself be carried away by the sensations of allowing, accepting, and receiving. Open up like a flower does and receive everything the flower can receive. But receive what you wish to receive energetically. You might not experience a big change in your life and circumstances right away, but give the energies time to do what they do. You don't have to understand how it all works. You don't have to understand everything or know all the details of what the energies are doing. You just need to understand that you can benefit, and that you will benefit from what is being offered to you at every moment. Sometimes you'll receive a benefit just from taking a bath or relaxing on the couch. Sometimes you'll receive a benefit just from playing with your pet or your child. Sometimes you'll receive a benefit just because you decided to spend time in nature, without your devices. But receive. You can and you will, and we will continue to offer you the energies of ascension, the energies of contact, the energies of awakening, and the energies of empowerment, and so will many of our companions here in the higher realms associated with the star systems you know, like the Pleiades and Sirius. We all work together to give you everything we can, and everything you ask for is already given to you. We guarantee it. We are the Arcturian Council, and we enjoyed connecting with you.